Welcome, everyone, to Exceptional Circumstances for Exceptional Learners. I am your host, Rebecca Muller, and we are here today with Art Mitchell, also known as Mr. I Am. So I am super excited to have him here today. Those of you who have been listening know that Clubhouse has really changed the way that we can connect with others. Art is one of the many people who I've connected with and have been able to start some great collaborations with. And it's just a wonderful platform to get your message out there. But the platform itself is just a stepping stone to so much more. So I'm very excited to have Art here. And I also just want to say, if you're looking for a Clubhouse invite, I have several available. So please reach out to me and I can get you hooked up with that. So I'm going to introduce Art. What I love about Art is his enthusiasm, and he's just definition of authentic. He has walked the walk, he talks the talk. He is here to empower youth. His message is so strong. And what I love on his website, he has, when your mind matches your destiny, anything is possible. And really taking that disability, let's take away the dis and let's look at the ability. So Art, welcome. We're so excited to have you here.
Yes, man. I think I'm glad to be here, Ms. Rebecca. Thank you again for having me on. Thank you. Thank you for taking time in as well. Thank you.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about your experience and how you became Mr. I Am.
How I became Mr. I Am, that's definitely a good question. So when I tell my story, I like to take everybody back down memory lane a little bit. So let's go back to the age of 6 years old. See, the age of six, a lot of people out there playing on the jungle gym, playing in the sandbar, doing different things that that's fun at the age of six. So the age of six, I was trying to see. To the age of six, I was diagnosed with an eye disease called keratoconus. And if many of y'all may not know what it is, it's the eye disease where how your eyes oval or mine pressure on my pupil causes my vision to be blurry. So finding out at the age of six, I had an unusual childhood. Couldn't do different things I wanted to do as a child. Couldn't really play with my friends and couldn't really do what I want to do. I love playing action figures. I love playing football and sports. But my disability disallowed me for doing that, so I wasn't able to be what I wanted to be. So then having that, people like as a kid, people ask a lot of questions. They want to know what's going on with you, why your eyes like this and that. So it was a whole bunch of different mental state going on in my mind because I couldn't explain it to them because it was new to me. And so I just bought a lot of things in me, allowing me to really go through a stage of loneliness. Didn't understand the reason why I was going through this. Didn't understand why me. A lot of things we go through. People ask why me, why I go through this, or why I have this. So I went to that stage and asked them why me. So in the process of asking why me, I ended up getting older now, more difficulties, more challenges, more roadblocks. Dealing with kids at an older age, not only ask questions but curious about. But now you got these thick glasses, or you so close to the board, or are your phone so close to your face? Just so many different questions to ask. It began to turn to a bullying state of really picking on my eyes or calling me this, calling me names, and because I couldn't explain to them what it was. I kept it aside, really didn't let people know what it was because the research says earlier on that this disease happens at the age of 13 on up. So even having it at the age of 6 was very unusual. We to this day I'm trying to figure out why, but I do know why because it's a purpose behind everything we go through life as a young age. So then ended up going through that, going through high school, wanting to play football, couldn't really play football because my eyes were just that bad, dealing with having contacts, then contact didn't work, having stronger prescription glasses every year, that didn't work. So end up going through high school, acting out. It was so much pressure, so much talked about Arthur that I want to do bad things, be the bad kid. So it wouldn't be so much pressure on me. I was able to it'd be just being in the crowd instead of being out picked out of the crowd.
Sure.
So yeah, definitely. So I dealt with that. Grace of God, I passed. I graduated high school. Grace of God, I really had to tighten up my work. I wanted to graduate. I wanted to, even through my disability, I want to let people know that I can still graduate. I can do this. Even though not able to see the board where I want to let people know I can still walk the stage and graduate. Even though not having these big glasses, I want to let people know I can still see to get where I want to go in life. So when allowing to having that, it became more visionary to me of knowing what my purpose was in life and what I was going to do as I got older. So going a little down the road a little bit, I ended up finding an eye doctor in Durham, North Carolina. The best eye doctor nowhere. I love this guy. Where's that doctor? He specialized in keratoconus. So he told me about a procedure at the time called corneal transplant. And what a corneal transplant is a procedure where they take your eye out and give you the deceased donor cornea. So I said, okay, at first I was a little skeptical. I didn't know I want to get surgery in my eyes. I seen so many crazy movies made about seeing different things in different eyes. So it was just a different fit for me. Like, okay, do I want this? But my main thing, Mr. Becker, Miss Debbie, I want to see again. I want to be normal. So living with this 18 years of my life, I was tired of being bullied, tired of being talked about, tired of being the center of attention and everything. So I wanted to be normal again. So I said, okay, ended up getting a surgery, not really understanding 7 surgeries later that it was going to be a process. So, yeah, seven eye surgeries. Yeah, 6 corneal transplants, and
Wow.
1, yes, man, yeah, 6 corneal transplants, and they had 1 cataract surgery. Yes, man. So it was a lot that went on with the process. But like I said, and everything we go through, always a purpose behind your pain.
Yes.
So,
Right.
so having,
Absolutely.
yes, man. So
It's purpose, and it's taking that pain and finding the purpose and the drive. And I think what you've done and what you're continuing to do, I mean, you really are creating that path. And what's amazing about what you're doing is that it's making that path, you're making that smooth path so that others don't have to fight as hard. And I think that is that true, authentic, just compassion that just flows from you, that is just a joy to see. Because I think many of us, sometimes it would be easy to stay in that why me, bubble. um and so I guess, what was, there's the medical part, but what were some of the things that you were able to do to help yourself get out of that why me, I need to be the bad kid because I just want to feel like I'm a part of the crowd? Like, was there a person that inspired you? Was it something else? Like, what got you to that point?
I know when I when that situation was going on and happening, it was myself. I had to really understand at that moment. I have the disease. I have keratoconus. It's not going nowhere. And I talk about it in my book called "Accepting Who You Are." But you gotta learning that I have this and not going nowhere. Once I accepted who I was, I was then able to understand now what can I do to make things different. What can I do to create impact? What can I do to change the narrative, how they feel about me to now, okay, well, he have this, he can't see, but he's graduating. All right, he had this, he can see, but he passed elementary, he passed middle school, he's at high school now. So knowing that in the process of really understanding, okay, I accepted it. Now what can I do about it to create impact to others? Understand that no, you may not know what's going on. You may be calling me names and bullying me, but I'm continuing my journey. I'm moving forward to what my purpose is and finding out the impact of what I want to do.
The narrative is really important, right?
Yeah.
That's been coming up a lot for me recently in different webinars and trainings and conversations, that we have the ability to create the narrative that we want to portray. And I think as educators, it's important to be aware of the narrative that we're creating for the students as well. I'm curious what it was like for you. Like, were teachers accommodating? Did they understand what you were going through? And then I guess what did you have to do if there was a teacher that didn't quite understand the disease? So like what did that look like for you?
This meant for me, none of them understood what I was going through, and none of them didn't really ask either. So like was put in area. So like you said, I had to tell them, man, sir, I can't see. I need to sit close to the board, or I have keratoconus. I'm not able to do certain things. I need a bigger, larger print on my own test, a larger print on workbook, a larger print book. So I can be able to see, 'cause I can't see the little words. So I had to inform them, and once informed, it was then able to accommodate. But if I never told them, they would never know, and probably wouldn't have cared. To be honest.
That's an important thing. Nobody asked, right?
Mm.
So that's why we have the whole IEP process, so that it's documented as to what needs to be done. But I think that part of the curiosity into how to help really matters, because the document is just step one. There's so much more that goes into that to be able to accept and to make sure that you're getting what you need. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So now, since that was your experience and you've learned so much, how are you helping others get through that process? I know that you do a lot of things with IEPs for kids. So how are you supporting them, and what types of advice do you offer?
This man, so definitely, I tell the kids, I always let them know that first of all, your disability doesn't affect your ability, and that's first and foremost. Because you gotta understand, you may have this, I call it a unique gift, but you still are a unique person, meaning that you have the ability to do anything you want to do if you just trust and believe. So I give them that energetic and motivation from the get go. Let them know that you can be somebody, you can be a lawyer, you can be an artist, you can be whoever you want to be. And I always know that my statement, you when your mind matches your destiny, and that it's possible. And I also just take them through a 10-week program of showing them, how to gain clarity, how to build self-confidence, how to cope with what you're going through, how to build up your momentum to do things that you think you thought you couldn't do. Because a lot of times people with disabilities, it may can do it, but because their mindset is different, they think they can do it or not capable of doing it. And then, so I let them know that you can do anything you want to do. You just got to trust and believe and continue to move forward, move into the process of doing it. Don't sit back and they say, why me? But move into the process of going forward, which is going to allow you to understand the steps in the middle of it, but continue to go through it. Continue to move forward. Continue to push past your fears and allow your mindset to change to be able to do something and grow better who you are.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know that you focus specifically um, on students, that is it just students with IEPs, or do you offer your services to other kids as well?
Yes, I work on ages 12 to 25. I do it middle school, high school. And I do college levels as well.
That's awesome. Great. And one of the other things that I'm thinking about is that we're coming up to the anniversary of when the 504, the ADA, when Judy Human and her team went and did the sit-ins at Congress. And if you haven't seen Crip Camp on, I think it's Netflix, it's fantastic just to see what people with disabilities needed to do to even be recognized.
Mhm.
And so now that there is, the protocol and some things in place, the work doesn't stop, right? It doesn't stop there. You have to keep going. You have to keep empowering individuals, because everybody's situation is so different and they might not have that person who understands. And I think so much of life, no matter what the circumstances, when you have somebody that understands even just a little bit of what you've been through, it creates that connection. And from those connections, you build relationships. And that's how I really think that individuals can find their passion,
Mm.
or what their destiny is going to be. Because I think a lot of kids that I speak to, especially in high school right now with the COVID, and they don't know if they want to go to college, there's so much that they're not aware of, that I think understanding that these little hardships throughout life help to create a path is such an important story to hear.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to share something from your website because I think, first of all, you've done a fantastic job. Just in the short time that I've gotten to know you, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
But on there, he has a documentary. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I did want to highlight some aspects of it because it really explains a little bit more about the disease. And, it's something that I was not aware of. So I'm just going to play this very beginning here.
I'm gonna take y'all back down memory lane for a minute. At the age of 6, we supposed to be outside, walking around, playing in the sand, getting in the jungle gym, or even playing in the seesaw with your friends. At the age of 6, me, I was diagnosed with what you may ask, keratoconus. Like, keratoconus is an eye disorder where your eye shape is oval or mine like the football shape pressing out. So from the age of 60 to now, it was a struggle, allowing me to go through different challenges in life, different situations, even to the point with 7 eye surgeries, which included 6 corneal transplants and 1 cataract surgery. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about life with keratoconus, the documentary.
Here, I am Dr. Joseph Allen, and I'm the host here on Dr. Eye Health. The channel helps you with the eyes, vision, and finding the best vision product. Now, again, in this video, we're covering keratoconus, which is a disease of the cornea, the front surface of the eye. Keratoconus is actually a disease of the surface of the eye, and that is where the front surface, called the cornea, and I'm going to go ahead and show that to you here. The front surface of the eye, of the eyeball here, the front surface is called the cornea. Now, the cornea here is the clear part. It's like the clear window to the eye that you see out of. This is from the National Eye Institute. The normal eye has the front surface, which is pretty round. But in keratoconus cornea is, again, bulging out, forming the shape of a cone, and it actually is thinning. So that's basically what keratoconus is.
So can you talk to us a little bit? So it says like so what does that look like? Like when is it blur? It's blurry, or like how does that affect the vision? I would love to understand that a little bit more.
I'll give you an example of what it is. You ever been through a mirror maze in
Yeah.
the carnival?
Yeah.
Exactly how it felt.
Oh my
Exactly
God.
how it felt. Yes, that how like a mirror maze, and it's how your eye just it's real. It's real like a funnel shade gray,
Okay.
and it's blurry and you can't see. So matter of fact, the beginning of the documentary is actually how it looked in keratoconus form, real blurry, real shady. My night vision, the night vision is terrible because you like a deer in the headlights when the light flash your eyes, very
Yeah.
light sensitive, and it just the bulging of the pressure of people bulging out allows your cornea to get weaker, and like your weaker your cornea, to blur your vision. Like 20 some years ago, I probably couldn't see y'all face to face like this. It'd be that bad.
Wow. Yeah. So now with the surgeries, like, do you still have to wear corrective lenses?
So after my 7th eye surgery a couple of years ago, I was able to my eyesight went from y'all know on my eyesight diaphragm, I went from a 20/200 to now 20/40 in my left eye and 20/50 in my right eye, and I haven't worn glasses in 5 years.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, I guess any improvement at that point, like what might be and blurry, you're like, this is great,
Yes, yes,
Wow,
ma'am,
that's
yes, ma'am.
that's incredible. Um, were are you able to drive? Is that still
Yes,
something?
I'm able to drive for a period of time. I wasn't able to drive at all because just the vision and getting adjusted to the lenses at corneal at that time was very hard. I just got my maybe about 2 years ago the nighttime driving off. I had daylight driving only, so I don't look at driving daytime because when nighttime hit, I couldn't see it all.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
ma'am.
And that within itself, those are things that you take for granted that you don't have to think about. You have to readjust a lot of things to make sure that it works, especially because you have three gorgeous kids, right? And we all know that schedules are crazy. So I have to ask, um, is this disease hereditary? I'm
It,
curious about it.
yes, it actually is hereditary, but and my immediate family, my mom and dad, my brothers, sisters, I'm the only one that got it.
Okay.
The fun, not the funniest thing, but the crazy thing is, like my kids, my son, my daughter, 7 and 5, both now have eye problems. They went to the doctor. They both have to get glasses now. So I'm
Okay.
like wondering if it's gonna be this or what. So kind of a little scary, a little bit. Kind of, I don't want to go through. Not I went through it all, dealing with that in a situation with 7 surgeries. So, having them know now having eye problems as well, have to have glasses. I'm just praying, hoping that this not what this is. Just something that it can be. Just got to have glasses because everybody in my family wear glasses, but they don't have
Right.
the disease I have.
The disease, right? Because I mean, it seems like it's pretty rare, and especially by the time when you were diagnosed, there wasn't much known about it. Um,
Mhm.
so that by you and being a spokesperson, you're helping so many more individuals that may encounter this. So you are an inspiration. You're a mentor. You're a consultant. You're a speaker, but you also have your own clothesline.
Yes, ma'am.
So, which you're showing off today, and unfortunately, mine will be in the mail in the next few days here. But so tell me a little bit more about the I Am clothing
Yes,
line, I
ma'am.
should say.
Yes, ma'am. I came with a clothing line last year called the I Am. I Am actually stands for I Am ArtMitch because of what I've been through.
And
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
okay, all right, I get
Yeah.
it.
And I created a clothing line brand to help kids with special needs, but also kids in general understand that they are bold, they are smart, they are successful, they are determined, they are enough. A lot of times they don't get that at home or even in the schoolhouse. So having that mindset of I believe that if you see it daily, it becomes internalized in your brain. Understand that you are this, you are that, and to give them a hope and a sense of pride to go from disappointment and discouragement to actually thriving and winning. So I am having you may not feel like you want to hit the test will be hard, but I am bold. I am smart. I am determined. Yes, ma'am. So having that and understanding that, you had the mindset of understanding who you are, that you're able to be more better at what you do and create more impact and be successful in your life journey.
I love this one too.
Yeah, don't let the way you feel. That's one of my sayings my coach gave me. He always said, "Don't let the way you feel affect the way you flow." And I said it, and that statement stands for, no, you may not feel a certain way at a time, but you gotta understand not about you, it's about them, and not let the way you feel affect the way you flow. Gives you better understand that. I may not want to get up in the morning and do this, but I know somebody that needs to know what I've been through, how I went through it. I mean, I feel like going outside talking to people, man. I saw somebody that got to kill themselves. They need to understand who I am. So not the way you feel, the fact the way you flow. It makes you understand that it ain't about me. It's about creating impact. And somebody that needs to hear our voice, needs to hear what we've been through, how we came out, so they can come out as well.
Absolutely. And I would be very remiss if I did not bring up the fact that you are there to empower our Black youth, which is so important right now, in a world that has directly and indirectly told them that they are less than, that we need to raise the voices and raise awareness. So I don't know if you want to speak a little bit more to that. I know you do talk about the prison to pipeline, and things like that. So I would love to hear a little bit more about, just what educators can do, what, what you are doing, and how we can continue to amplify the voices of our Black and brown kids.
Yes, man. I would definitely say, definitely support, support and understanding, because having 10 years experience dealing with the urban youth and black and brown community, I understand that they want to know that that you're gonna be there in their lives. They want to know that they can be that they can trust you. They want to know that you actually care about them. Cause a lot of them they come to school, they see their friends and teachers, but when they get back home, they don't know what's going on. They be a single parent home, and they just so much stuff going on that they want to know at where I'm at now. During the daytime that I'm able to go to school, have a teacher or educator support me, love me, care about me. Because they feel like if they go to another area and things not looking right, they're like, okay, well, they don't care about me either. So I'm just gonna act out, do different things. Now I was talking to an educator the other day. I learned that going to school is actually a safe place for them. Because they get to be around people that actually are concerned about their grades, are concerned about their education, concerned about how they are. But they're not getting it in the school system. They're gonna see what's not worth it, end up dropping out, doing different things in the school to prison pipeline. And that's where I come in. I get on. I show them that school is fun. School is fun. School is important. But also let educators know as well that we got to make it fun and important for them as well. They know that they don't get it at home. They need to get it in a school system where they can be taught, nurtured, understand, and not necessarily baby them, no pacify them, but let them know that you care. Let them know that I'm here for you. Let them know that you can trust me. You can let me know, because knowing that and having that mindset, that then be able to understand. Hey, we know because this is a teacher that ever care about me, or some of my grades. I had an educator tell me that. He talked to a guy. He said, "I've been in school. I'm in 8th grade now, but you're the first teacher that actually cared about me, actually concerned about my grades, concerned about how I'm doing my work." So I said, "This is great, because that's all they want. They just want to know that you care and concern. Because if they don't, they'll get in the streets. And in the streets, they're gonna tell you they can care and concern, but it's for them to do bad things in a situation or a challenge that they can't get out of." So having that confidence and having that knowing that, okay, I'm here in a safe place. I can come to school, I can get what I need. But also, if I'm not doing this right, I can't read. I have a teacher actually telling me, I know you're a great student. I want you to do this. I'm gonna get your mentor. I can mentor you, but I want to see you do great things, see you succeed. That's what grab their attention and want to learn and want to do more. So that's really big in the Black community, because they don't get the support they need. But not only educators as well too, it's the parents. The parents need to also too really understand who their kids are. A lot of parents just want the kids to go to school, come home, and be done. But you know what the homework is, are they passing, you just want the teacher to do everything. And what you can't, it's a 50-50 thing. And I believe the teachers and the parents come together as one and really push this concern and it's understanding, the support and love, it'll be better understood in them. They won't have to go out and street to get it from the uncle or from the nephew that's been in the gang and been inside 50 years that show them life. But they get shown life at home, also the school place, and it'll be a combination of both so they can understand who they are. And just be better when they know, being poured out of purpose, being poured out knowing that, this time in the neighborhood was bad, but I'm able to take my mom and dad out of the situation. Or I'm in an area where it's killing and stuff, but I'm able to go to school, graduate, make something out of myself, so I can be better and have them do better as well.
Yeah, and so much of that too has come from the narrative, right? And so,
Mhm.
the parents sometimes it's just a matter of survival. They're working a couple jobs and it's exhausting. So then, you know, at the same time, like we need to have that awareness that just because a student may look a certain way, I think there's a lot of assumptions that come out to that. And I think that we collectively need to change the narrative. And I think that by having, you know, really strong mentors and specifically people that look like them, I think that that's important. As much as I want to be a force for my students, at the end of the day, I can sympathize, but that true empathy that I want to have, the fact is that I haven't lived it. And I
Mm,
think that anytime you have a person that has gone through it and can see it from their worldview, I think that's super important. I think support is a great first step, but I think collectively, the narrative, you know,
mm,
we need to believe that all students
oh,
are enough, that
mm,
everybody comes from that same
mm,
and playing field. And the reality is right now the playing field is not level.
mm,
And then you add in a disability to that, and then that just creates even more of a divide. So because Clubhouse and all of this and the working has been such an a powerful tool, I do want to mention the group that connected me to art. So if you are on Instagram, Black on Black Education is a daughter team, dedicated to revolutionizing and recreating education in the Black community. Um, so they were the ones that said, I was like, hey, I want to talk more about special education, especially in regards to, you know, race. And they're like, you have to talk to Art. And we connected and it was incredible. Now, were you a part of their conference back in February?
I wasn't, and 'cause I found out about it in late, and we actually connected. I will be in the next quarterly one.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome.
Talked about it, but when I found out about it, it was too late. But we did connect, and we're gonna definitely do some things in the future.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And I mean, really, they are wonderful at giving updates. They have a pretty consistent Clubhouse presence. And I have to say, the Black educator space on Clubhouse has been, I've learned so much. Just things that I thought I knew, being able to have conversations with people that are open to explaining it in a very casual way and to inform. You know, I think that we all need to do a better job at listening. I think sometimes we want to be the speakers or the doers, myself included in that. And one of the most important things that I've learned, just I think I got on Clubhouse in January, so it hasn't been that long, but I'm telling you, I've learned so much in just the ability to truly listen. And when you have a moderator that really does a good job in, you know, helping to keep the emotions, because it's emotional, because there's been so much in the past year and then so much in the past 200 years that we've
Mhm.
all had to really come to terms with. And so you take that and then you take our personal journeys, and it becomes overwhelming. So having individuals that you can speak to and feel supported with, and that are there to help you to amplify your own message, I'm very empowered and also humbled by the spaces as well. um so as we start to wrap up, is there um, our participant today, is there any questions that you have directly for Art?
So I guess I do. I find the toughest thing so I'm a school psychologist, and a lot of times my job involves working with kids, brown, black, white, purple, doesn't matter what color the skin tone is, to explain to them at a high school level what their disability is, because they haven't understood it before. And I always try and explain it with, here's what your weakness is, but here's how you can move forward with your strengths. And a lot of times I have students who don't believe me, or aren't willing to accept or not understand, because that takes time. What are some ways that you found that you work with kids who are struggling with the fact that they may have a disability, and try and teach them that it's okay to say they have one? I did look at your shop, and the t-shirt that I love the most is the one with the box. I always say I try and think outside the box. And you have one on there that's something about my disability, and at the bottom is something else. But basically
Sorry.
Yeah, no, basically to me it says think outside the box. You are not just a label. But so what have you said to kids about that? Because that's hard. Young adults don't want to accept that. Yes, my disability doesn't affect my ability.
Yes, man, that's a great question. I created a mentorship program, and the program guide I'm working on now just for them. I learned that kids got this is my first chapter, they got to accept who they are. And accepting who you are, it takes time, because I even at the age of 6, like I said, I had the why me questions. Why I gotta have this? Why I gotta wear this? But I had to realize, as I continue to go through the process, understand that it's not gonna go away. But what can I do to make things better? And then once they finally accept who they are, then they better can understand the process and the situation. And it's kind of hard, but in my program, I just really take them in depth of what it means to accept who you are. And sometimes, sometimes things you accept, you may not like, I may not want to have, but you got to understand and realize that you have this disability. But it don't stop you from being great. Don't stop you from being somebody else. What's it gonna do is gonna make you stronger and believe in who you are, so you can do things greater than what you believe in.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. So I've heard you mention a few things about your book. I don't see it in the shop. So can you tell us a little bit more about your book and how people can purchase that?
Is with the book not in the shop. I'm going to revamp, and I got some more things I want to add to it, and change the title and everything. So it's gonna be out in maybe a month or two. I really want to make this book really set forth for the elementary, the middle school, high school, and college level. So I want it in the revamp it, because it's gonna go along with my program. But my mentorship program is on my site under programs. While I take the kids through the program or everything I mentioned earlier in the beginning, but definitely something I'm gonna do. So I don't have it yet. I just took it off because I want to take it and put some more meat to it, some more in-depth things to it. So I want to really revamp it.
And that's how I know you're the real deal. You're always changing and making it better, and I just think that is incredible. And it's just been such a joy to get to know you and to follow you on Instagram and to see what you're doing. And I feel like you've been speaking all over the place, so I'm really honored to have you here today. I do want to mention that the overall just topic of race and special ed, sometimes I feel like people don't want to talk about it. And I've really been pushing to try to find individuals to bring this out. So I do want to mention that on June 9th at our normal time, our 7 p.m., Restore More, if you're not following these two amazing women, they are having the conversations that people don't want to have. So we are literally calling the event the conversations we are not having. And so, you know, I'm very excited to continue the conversation. I think it needs to be, you know, it's out there, but nobody, like, I see blogs about it sometimes, and then I reached out to the researchers who wrote about the research, and they said we're not going to speak to this. I'm like, okay. And then, you know, or you'll see a book, but then, you know, it's not, we're so afraid to speak. And I think that, you know, I'm going back to Clubhouse, but I feel like it's allowed us to do it in, you know, to kind of hide behind the audio, and it's not recorded. So people, I think, feel a little bit better to say things that maybe they're thinking. And I think that that is a positive thing, but at the same time, we need to continue to get the messages out there. Yeah. So I, once again, I appreciate your time. Your website is artmitch.com, correct?
Yes, ma'am. www.artmitch.com. Yes, ma'am.
ArtMitch. And then how can people get in touch with you?
Yes, man. You can reach me on my social media. On Facebook, it's Arthur Mitchell. You can reach me on LinkedIn, it's Arthur Mitchell as well. I'm also on Instagram, it's at Success with Arthur. And also, if you want to book me in a speaking engagement, come to the school and the organizations. I just want to talk about a mentor program. You can reach me at zajinspirations@gmail.com. It's ZAJINspirations@gmail.com.
Awesome. So plenty of ways. And also, you know, if you missed any of that, reach out to me and I'll make sure to connect you to Art. Because once you're in the ESOL community, you can't leave, because we have you now and we're connected and you're a part of the family. So you are always and welcome to reach out to us as well if there's something that you're thinking about, and to try to get to this community as we continue to grow. So that concludes our spring break edition at this lovely time of noon. So we're going to wrap up today. Thank you again for your time, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, ma'am.